than halfway past 2025, and I would like to give a recount of my experiences with BLs this year. The highlights and the not so highlights. Starting off strong with the Heart Killers. Me watching this series is on first cow, okay? I love both these actors. They are among the most talented actors in the Thai BL industry. They can actually act, which is something you can't say for everyone. So when I saw the trailer for this, I was excited because it looked great. And the series does look great. That is the one thing it has going for it. It looks great. But the series has no depth. It has about the depth of a teaspoon. It tries to handle and tackle a lot of very complicated and difficult issues, but it does so with so much levity that I cannot take it seriously. You know, the mafia, the child kidnapping, even the prison. It's so stupid the way they handled all of these things. And so, despite my love for First and Cow, this was a no-no for me. I did not like this series. For Perfect 10-liners, I was most excited for Perth and Center's storyline because these were two actors I'd known and loved from other things they'd been in. As for Force and Book, I've not really loved anything they've been in except for Only Friends, so I didn't really have much of an expectation there. For Junior Mark, I didn't really know them, so not much of an expectation there either. Watching the series, Force and Book storyline comes first, and it is so cliche. It is so boring. They honestly did them dirty by giving them such an overdone storyline. Like, this exact storyline has been done hundreds of times in BLs. Like, the popular, good-looking, smart guy falls for the sassy, talkative. It's been done. I was bored. But I sat through it so I could get bits of backstory on Perth's and Santa's characters. Eventually, when we did get to Perth and Santa's storyline, I was very happy. I was excited. It was a nice change of pace. But then I started noticing a pattern that I didn't like at all. So Perth's character, Yota, is this grumpy, grumbling, broody type of guy. And Santa's character, Gun, is this happy-go-lucky, very nice, always sunshine character. So the thing that really niggled at me regarding the relationship is the way that Gun was constantly the one who had to put in the effort for this relationship. He was constantly giving himself, being forgiving, talking to Yota, pulling him out of his broodising whatever that he was doing. And by the time that Yota actually started putting in effort into the relationship, I was already tired. I wanted Gun to end up with someone better, and of course he didn't.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
And I know that Gun is a forever sunshine character just so he can endure all the legitimately insane nonsense that Yota is going to be doing. Another really small thing that bothered me, it's really a small thing, is the bigger thing. After the first 3-4 times that Yota said it, it was cute. And then after that, it just overstayed its welcome. Every time he said Biggle,
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
It felt like someone took a nail and was just scratching at my skull. I did not like it for some reason. Junior and Mark's characters, Fifa and Wine, their storyline, it felt like the reward that I deserved for having to endure the first two storylines. They were so good, and because I didn't even expect it, it was even better. Fifa and Wine had a dynamic that's quite common, where Fifa is the outgoing, extroverted one, and Wine is the more reserved, introverted one. But unlike a lot of stories where the extroverted one is this perfect being who constantly has to be doing things for the introverted one, I like how they were both flawed characters who helped each other with their flaws. So Fifa gets Wine to come out of his shell, and leave his comfort zone and be more expressive. And wine helps Fifa to set boundaries and to really understand that he doesn't need to give all of himself, and that him not giving all of himself does not reduce his self-worth. I really like that. And the way they both communicated with each other. Oh my god. The way there were no stupid misunderstandings to be found. This couple, 100/10. Highly recommend. The writers of Forever You must have a special supply of top quality premium audacity, because you really need premium audacity to repeat the exact same storyline twice. The two couples, they have the exact same storyline, and I wasted hours of my life watching this. Those are hours of my life I am never getting back again. And the audacity even extends, because the storyline that they chose to repeat isn't even something special. It's the most cliche storyline in all of romantic cinema. The forced book storyline in Perfect 10-Liners, yeah, that's the same thing they repeated here. Wow. My stubborn is not very good by any stretch of the imagination. The GL couple were shoved in for God knows what reason, I guess, to fill up the runtime. Ty and Champ are busy not having any substantial story, but doing sexual gymnastics and aerodynamics and defying the laws of physics. While Sorn and Juin are fornicating on any surface they can find. But the one thing it does have going for it is fun. It is a lot of fun. And it gave us such funny and quotable lines. And it also gave us this masterpiece. Me watching The Boy Next World is on me, okay? I take the blame. But you know what? I am but a human of flesh and blood. I watched Love in the Air, which honestly, the writing is not that great. The acting, also not that great. Sound mixing was also a little bit problematic, but the leads had chemistry. They had fire brimming between them. And so, who was I not to check out their next project? I went into this honestly not really expecting much of a story, but for them to just let Boss and Noor do their thing. But then they picked a multiple world, multiple versions of the same person storyline, and they lost me. They lost me hard, because a story like this requires meticulous writing and attention to detail, which honestly the story does not have. And so, even though they had some great NC scenes, this was not a good story, and I couldn't finish it. So, yeah, I guess chemistry is not enough for me, huh? Gelboys is definitely my number one BL of 2025, and nothing that I've seen since then has even come close to taking that title. It is great. It is not just great, it is great in so many different aspects. Acting, writing, music, lighting, cinematography, everything. It's really great. Every single one of the main characters are interesting. They're so interestingly flawed characters. Shien, for a while, I had a problem with Shien. I was kind of hoping for him to fall into a pit of scorpions. But you know, after seeing it through to the end, we're on better terms now. We're cool. The only thing though is, if there's going to be a second season of Gelboys, I hope, I pray that they don't I Promise You the Moon it. I beg of you. I still have trauma from watching I Promise You the Moon, so let's not go that route, please. Watching My Golden Blood for as long as I did is on me. I put the blame on me, because the first episode should have clued me into the Wattpad Harley Quinn-esque nature of the story. But for some reason, I kept watching and looking for a redeeming quality. I didn't find it, by the way. By the time I got to episode 7, I was like, you know what? I give up. This is definitely not going to get better for me. So why should I waste my life? And I still don't have very good thoughts about it. And that's where we're at now. You go cheat. You go cheat. You go cheat. So this was basically me for the initial parts of the story, which is something I never imagined I would do, to actually encourage not just one but both characters to cheat on their partners. And I guess that is the joy and kind of the interesting thing about writing, being able to explore and see things from different perspectives. This was a nice one. I really liked it. Tempo has something that quite a lot of movies and stories these days don't seem to have, which is that it has thought and effort put into it. It also has a message, several messages actually, and it's quite a brutal dissection of how the entertainment industry works. And I like how the story doesn't just revolve around just their romance. Those stories where the romance is just front and center and everything has to bend to fit for the romance. I like how this story doesn't do that, and that even though they both choose to be together, there are real life consequences to a lot of the decisions that they make. And I really like the romance. It's very heartwarming, it's very cute. Both characters are mutually interested in each other. It's not that one person is chasing after the other. And it's also very hot. So, yeah, I like it.